Yo, this case could become one of the biggest and most closely watched criminal trials in hip-hop history. It's no longer just about the allegations surrounding Yella Beezy and the death of Mo3. Inside the courtroom, a much bigger legal battle is unfolding, one that could influence how rap lyrics and artistic expression are treated as evidence in future cases. As the trial moves forward, every new development is drawing intense attention from fans, legal experts, and the music industry alike. Stay with us as we break down the latest updates and explain what they could mean for everyone involved. Send the next part whenever you're ready, and I'll keep the same tone, pacing, and storytelling style throughout.
Of Taco Bell to Cyclospora outbreak.
Another genre. But prosecutors called up the lead Dallas homicide detective who testified investigators don't start with rap lyrics. Instead, he said they compare lyrics with witness statements, physical evidence, wiretaps, social media, and other investigative findings. The detective also walked the court through a years-long rivalry between Conway and Mo3 leading up.
One of the biggest questions surrounding this case is whether prosecutors should be allowed to use rap lyrics as evidence in court. Are those lyrics legitimate evidence, or are they simply artistic expression being interpreted as a confession? The judge's decision on this issue could have consequences that extend far beyond Yella Beezy's case. Whatever the ruling, it may shape how rap music and creative works are treated in future criminal trials across the country.
There you go. Nasty up here. Day.
The pretrial hearings in Yella Beezy's capital murder for hire case are becoming increasingly intense as both sides battle over what evidence should be presented in court. Prosecutors argue that Beezy's music was more than entertainment, claiming it reflects motive, intent, and his state of mind. At the center of the dispute is a freestyle track titled Take 3. According to testimony presented during the hearings, investigators believe the song contains lyrics directed at Mo3 and are seeking to use it as part of their case. The defense, however, disputes that interpretation, setting up one of the trial's most closely watched legal battles.
We want a first-person narration. In this investigation, because of the keep it in the street motto, we weren't able to get that in an interrogation room. We had to go to YouTube to get it. We had to go to social media to get it.
According to prosecutors, the freestyle closely mirrored themes from Mo3's song 219. They also allege that the track was recorded on the same day Mo3 was killed, arguing that the timing is significant and should be considered by the court as part of the overall case. Pretrial hearings in Yella Beezy's capital murder for hire case are growing more intense as prosecutors and the defense continue to battle over what evidence the jury should be allowed to hear. Prosecutors argue that Beezy's music should not be viewed as entertainment alone. They contend that certain lyrics may be relevant to issues such as motive, intent, and state of mind. One of the key points in the dispute is a 2019 track in which Beezy references putting money on someone's head. They also point to Mo3's own 2019 song 219, where he raps about hearing there was money on his head and fearing for his life. Prosecutors argue that these songs are part of the broader context they are asking the court to consider. Investigators also testified that Beezy withdrew approximately $40,000 from his bank account after Mo3's death. Prosecutors claim this transaction fits into the timeline they are presenting, while the defense strongly disputes that interpretation. To challenge the prosecution's arguments, the defense called Dr. Eric Nielsen, a professor at the University of Richmond who has extensively researched the use of rap lyrics in criminal trials. Nielsen testified that rap artists often create exaggerated fictional personas, much like actors or professional wrestlers, and warned that jurors may interpret rap lyrics more literally than other forms of artistic expression. According to Nielsen, treating song lyrics as factual admissions rather than creative works risks unfairly influencing a jury. He argued that artistic expression should not automatically be viewed as evidence of real-world conduct. The debate over using rap lyrics in criminal cases is not new. Similar legal disputes have surfaced in several high-profile prosecutions involving hip-hop artists, making this case another closely watched example of a broader legal and cultural issue. Now, all eyes are on the judge's upcoming ruling. If the court allows the lyrics to be introduced as evidence, the decision could have implications that extend well beyond this trial, potentially influencing how rap music is treated in courtrooms across the country.
Killing.
You heard Dr. Nielsen testify. Did you have any problems with his descriptions that rappers are playing a character? They give themselves a name and they're playing a character.
I have a huge problem with that.
And what's that?
That narrative can be true, but it also cannot be true. It's up to an individual basis.
Prosecutors argue that the timing of the evidence is significant and far from a coincidence. They maintain that the sequence of events supports the theory they are presenting to the court. The defense strongly disagrees, arguing that the prosecution is connecting unrelated pieces of information without proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Ultimately, the burden of proof remains with the prosecution. One testimony that drew significant attention came from the lead detective, who stated noted that investigators do not believe Yella Beezy was physically in Texas when Mo3 was killed. That point is central to the case because prosecutors are not alleging that Beezy carried out the shooting himself. Instead, they contend that he orchestrated the killing from a distance, an allegation the defense firmly denies. The courtroom then shifted its focus to social media activity. Detectives testified that they reviewed posts and videos they believe were connected to the investigation following Mo3's death. Investigators also discussed seized cell phones, alleged communications, and other evidence they claim helps establish the timeline of events. It is important to note that these are allegations presented by the prosecution during the pretrial proceedings. Yella Beezy has pleaded not guilty, and the allegations have not been proven in court. Another unexpected aspect of the hearings involved the public relationship between Mo3 and Yella Beezy. For years, both artists had publicly downplayed or denied having any real connection with one another. That history has now become another point of interest as the court continues to examine the evidence presented by both sides.
Lot of tension between you and Mo3. Don't know who that is. I don't know who, buddy. Okay.
At the time, both artists publicly minimized any connection between them. However, recently resurfaced studio footage showing Mo3 and Yella Beezy together before their falling out has brought new attention to their past relationship. While the footage does not prove any wrongdoing, it has caused many people to take a closer look at the history between the two artists and how their relationship changed over time. Reports also indicate that prosecutors have issued subpoenas for hundreds of potential witnesses, highlighting the scale of the investigation and the amount of evidence being reviewed. This case has grown beyond a typical celebrity legal battle. It has become one of the most closely watched murder-for-hire cases involving a hip-hop artist in recent years. Meanwhile, the alleged shooter, Keywan White, has reportedly indicated a willingness to cooperate with prosecutors. If he takes the stand, his testimony could become one of the most significant moments of the trial. However, until any testimony is presented in court, all claims remain allegations. Beyond the individuals involved, the case raises a much larger question for the music industry. Should rap lyrics be considered criminal evidence, or should they be protected as artistic expression unless backed by independent proof? Whatever decision the judge makes could have consequences that extend far beyond Yella Beezy's trial, potentially shaping how hip-hop and creative expression are viewed in courtrooms in the future. And as the courtroom proceedings continue, all eyes remain on what evidence will be allowed and how this historic case will unfold.
And the courtroom begins.
For you, anybody that's going against you, anybody that's negative, you understand me, ain't bringing no positive vibe, you know, in the word Gucci, put that in the dirt. Damn! For sure, you did!